I'm kidding. We were joking before we started about the massive crowd that is always awaiting our show when we go live on Friday nights.
Yeah, they get
So
really pissed when we're not here, like right at 9 o'clock. I see them all yelling in the comments right now.
exactly. The how can we deal with the amount of comments? I guess we'll just push through it. So,
Yeah, yeah.
welcome to this week's episode of the Ascendant Art Podcast. I am Little Chad. With me, as always, is Slender Dad. Hello, hello, hello. Can
Oh, was I
we?
supposed to say something? Am I supposed to do my greeting now? Hey guys, what's up?
I mean, if you
Yeah.
if you want to be like you know here and part of the team,
If I want to be engaged.
if you want to be engaged, yeah,
I'm
that's one way
sorry.
to do it.
I lately I've had this fear that just keeps bubbling up. Like we're supposed to get some rain this weekend, and I'm like, man, I hope I don't get struck by like mega lightning or something while I'm out there. Like just hit by a bolt and then my head explodes or something.
I mean, you got to watch out for mega lightning. As you are a mega lightningologist, so you know that mega lightning will continue to strike you because it's attracted to the human body's
Yeah.
electric current.
Well, and I'm taller than your average person, so I mean, I'm more likely to get struck by mega lightning.
I mean, if only there was a movie that was informative and helped people know about the risks of mega lightning,
Yeah.
we'd be in a
The
much better
tectonic
place.
activity that can follow mega lightning. You got to be careful of that.
That's right.
Stay out of the hot tub when the mega lightning is around.
And that, I mean, you'd think, honestly, that one's true for regular lightning too, people. If there's regular lightning, don't be in a hot tub.
And never hold up the Highlander sword during mega lightning.
Yeah, unless you're really ready to have a quickening. Uh,
If you are not a Highlander, it will not end well for you.
yep. Now, if you are a Highlander and there can be only one, whether you're the Kurgan or a MacLeod, it's a good time. You're gonna get the knowledge and experience of all the immortals that you
Yeah, I
killed.
don't even know if that's technically lightning or mega lightning or something else entirely. More study is required to understand the Highlander lightning.
Oh, look, Yeti, my two favorite people, Chad and the Last Jedi of. Oh well,
I gotta put him in timeout already.
don't put Yeti in timeout. He's our audience. If we put him in timeout, then our audience is gone.
We can go
Oh,
back to a nice quiet show with no comments.
no. Well, thanks for being here, Yeti. It's always fun when you're in the audience, and when Slender doesn't put you in timeout. That's right.
I mean, at
Uh,
least I'm not the last Jedi at jokes.
Last Jedi was the Last Jedi of jokes. It was that bad. Which we have a connection to a little bit because the one of the lead characters in a movie we're going to talk about tonight, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, is voiced by Oscar Isaac, who I can tell you put more effort into his voice performance as Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099, than he did in anything he was doing for The Last Jedi. So, well, let's see. Oh, don't talk about Brahma Bull that way. Oh, misrepresentation.
Whew, whew. I
That
didn't
that
say it.
yeah, that mega lightning didn't strike true.
We
As
got that on record. I'm gonna let Brahma know. I'm gonna tell him you said that.
I mean, he's one of the people who actually watches our show, so he might just hear it himself. That's fine. Uh, did you didn't see Spider Verse? So I went I used my movie pass and go see that stuff. So we have stuff to talk about. Um, so tonight we're gonna kind of talk about Spider Man Across the Spider Verse, which opened live wide today. We are actually gonna revisit John Wick 4 and Super Mario Brothers because Slender, being a hermit who lives in the woods, finally saw those movies.
I mean, that is an accurate description. And yes, I mean, I watched him on streaming.
Yeah, he's a hermit who lives in the woods and only watches things once they hit his streaming service that he has. Not sure which one they went live on. Did you actually pay for these movies?
Yeah, I got them on Amazon.
Yeah, there you go. Because I was like, I don't think they're streaming free on any yet. It's not like Dungeons and
No.
Dragons where it went to Paramount Plus within, it seems like 4 or 5 weeks.
I mean, I knew Dungeons and Dragons was going to Paramount Plus, but I liked the movie so much I paid for it anyway.
Yeah, everybody who's listening, I messaged Slender. I'm like, oh, Dungeons and Dragons is going to be on Paramount Plus in like 3 days. And he comes back and he's like, well, I'm going to buy it. I was like, but it's going to be, you have Paramount Plus. I know you do because you do the Mayor of Kingstown and Picard reviews when we were watching it. And he's like, I know, but I want to support the team.
Yeah.
That's the kind of guy he is. He's going to support the team unless it means subscribing and joining on Yeti. He doesn't, not that kind of support, but
No,
supporting
no.
Dungeons and Dragons.
God, no. After all the things Yeti said about me, I've never subscribed to him.
I would like to. We should put a count on one of the movies with Mad We Do for how many times Yeti threatens to hunt one of us down. Because sometimes he gets upset with some things we say, and a Yeti is a angry
He's a
creature.
very angry little elf, isn't he?
Well, you feed it. You guys both do that. That's one of the more fun parts about movies with Mad. You guys playing off each other. He supports me like a good push-up bra. Well, I mean, little. Oh, yeah. I don't. He medium, regular sized, average Yeti. Maybe not little.
I have no idea. All I know is I'm bigger than you, Yeti.
I mean, I've met Slender in person. He's not a small man. So I I don't know. Well, one day when Yeti leaves the Canadian Yukon, we might be able to see who is in fact.
He's out there in a cave somewhere. Somewhere.
Yep. So let's go ahead. Let me share. Let's do which one? This one. Yep. There we go. Oh, Yeti calls bullshit. Yeah, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse bullshit. Okay, if that's your review, that's cool. Oh no, I'm kidding. That
Wow,
was
harsh.
actually that was Yeti's comment towards you. But I played it off. That was funny. It was humor. Big cat funny. So Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is the sequel to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which came out. Man, it seems like it came out
Oh, is
so long
Yeti's
ago.
mom getting into this now?
Yeah. So Yeti has indicated his mother says, "F you, you're not bigger than my son." Then she said, "Come talk to me." Okay. Well, I feel like maybe Yeti's having a good night.
I wonder if Yeti realizes it doesn't make him look good if this mom is jumping in to fight his war for him.
Well, I mean, the "come talk to me" part. I don't know in what connotation uh, is she inviting you over? Like, is it, or is she trying to fight the battle for him? Let's see. Absolutely, she's getting into this. Okay, cool. That's fun. Mama Yeti. I think that'll she's welcome to hop on the show and we can have this out.
No, it's cool, man.
All right.
Hopefully,
so-
hopefully Yeti brings her along when he comes to hunt me down. It's more pelts for my mantle.
get the set. Yeah, that's not great. So, main character for Across the Spider Verse, Miles Morales, the who is the lead in Into the Spider Verse. Although I'm gonna be honest, this movie felt like it was just as much a Gwen Stacy Spider Girl movie as it was Miles. In
Well, I
fact,
mean, that's really where they want to go with it. We know this.
which is interesting, but like, yeah, like the opening sequence of the movie is not with Miles Morales. It's actually following Gwen Stacy around. Like, so I'd say must be the first 10, 15 minutes of the movie is Gwen Stacy. Like, I still don't know what her name exactly is because in the comic books they first gave her the title Ghost Spider as her superhero name, and then that one was kind of stupid, so they just quietly shifted it to being Spider Woman. and they never made a big deal of it. All of a sudden, she just became Spider Woman, and I think that's what they are saying in the movie. They refer to as her as Spider Woman. And
Aren't they
yes,
both a little young to be Spider-Man and Spider-Woman?
and yes, Bobby, they do have a pregnant, and she goes by Jess Drew. That's if you look at the poster that I have on the screen, uh, she's this character right here under Miles' arm is a pregnant Jess Drew. And what's funny about this is the movie takes place over a period of at least 5 to 6 months, and from when you first meet Jess Drew to when 5 to 6 months later, she's the exact same amount of pregnant. So maybe in her universe, pregnancy takes a lot longer, but it's a I think it's
Or
a thing.
maybe in her universe, the animators didn't want to make another character model.
That's what I really think. I think it was just being lazy, and that the animators didn't listen to the script part where that got added in for how long the movie was like. Because if you remember the end of Into the Spider Verse, it ends with Gwen with a portal opening up and Gwen saying "Hey" to Miles Morales, and that's where we pick back up with him. And I think it was supposed to be a fairly quick turnaround from when the first movie ended to that, and instead they
It's
shifted
been
it
a
to
couple of years.
yeah. But remember that was in the end of the original movie,
Yeah, but
so
I'm saying if it was a quick turnaround, it just didn't feel like a quick turnaround.
no, the movie itself took forever to get out, and that's because it was COVID delayed and a lot of other things. So, oh, and we've got an update that Yeti's mom was just joking and she doesn't actually want to kill you. So you've got that going for you. So that's good. Doesn't
I guess I'll have to dial it up then.
really. This movie is long. It is like 2 hours and 30 or 40 minutes. Like it drags. It feels it.
That's a thing right now, isn't it? Like one of the other movies we're going to talk about, John Wick 4. Like, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the movie, but I mean, it used to be you had an intermission with movies this long.
Okay, so Spider Verse is 2 hours and 20 minutes, but I guess when you factor previews and everything else, it's you're gonna be in the theater for. Now she says, "Bring a bitch." All right, we're going back and forth on this really
I love
quickly.
you both.
Yeah, the movie is too long. This should be a 90 to 95 minute movie. That's the amount of story that's actually in this movie. If it was well paced, it's dragging for that additional 40 minutes that it doesn't need.
And
It's
here's kind of a question, right? If the movie was 2.5 hours long, how much did they make? What got cut? Like,
there is a lot of character moments. Like this movie has some really good action sequences, and it is definitely an Easter egg fest because when you're doing what they're doing with the Spider Verse, where it has all the multiverses of Spider-Man, it gives them the opportunity to link up with all the other versions of Spider-Man that have ever existed in movie and television before. But even that, the cameos are a lot in the background. This is just it. The story drags because they're not pacing it. They take, and I'm usually a fan of letting scenes breathe, where you let people let the scene take place and let people talk and act out. It gives you the character moments, but they just let things go way too long, and there was just too much stuff. It was indulgent, is what I would say, because one of the other things they did throughout the movie is they experimented with the animation in terms of backgrounds, using like chroma keys to like change the background colors to match mood, and playing with a lot of that kind of technique to be a little more edgy with what they were doing from animation. I think it's because the animators felt emboldened because the first Spider-Man Into the
Is it
Spider-Verse
edgy
1.
though, or is it pretentious?
I mean, I think if the movie had been paced better, it would have been fine. But when you're already dragging the movie out, it becomes too much. And I think that's true for whether it's live action or animation, and maybe you'll agree with me or not. When it's a really good movie and you're enjoying it and it's actually really well paced, some of those indulgent choices from like camera angles or coloring or whatever are things you can kind of let go. But when it keeps plodding along and you're ready for it to keep moving, that's where, it becomes annoying.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, with 2.5 hours, you're going to be hard pressed to keep my attention for 2.5 hours. Like, I'm not saying it can't be done, but usually about 90 minutes in is when I'm starting to think, man, I need a break, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And the other thing is, this movie is definitely the middle part of it. Is a to be continued movie. You need to know that going in, because I think one of the things that bothered me is I didn't have that expectation kind of going into it, and it does not
You
end in.
expected a closed loop.
I expected at least a resolution. Like even movies that are trilogies. And I was watching some commentary about this movie today on some of the other YouTube channels I watch, Midnight's Edge, where Culture Casino, who was our guest last week, was on, and they were talking with Script Doctor and some of the other great people that they have on their show. And I think it was Script Doctor who brought up Return of the Jedi as an example of a middle, not Return, Empire Strikes Back as an example of a middle movie where there's going to be a sequel, but you still feel like the story of that movie was resolved, but you wanted to see what happened next. Like it was the end of a chapter. This doesn't even feel like the end of the chapter. It feels like you're leaving right off in the middle. And so
Yeah, it's just bad writing.
yeah. Oh,
Like
wow.
you can't do movies that way
Ooh.
because
Yeti's mom is getting personal.
you can't keep your attention in something for more than 15 minutes.
I don't know
Man,
if they
Yeti's in
realize.
the sauce right now,
Yeah,
isn't he?
maybe. We'll see later. um, I'm just gonna move from that comment on.
Yeah,
the
let's just move on.
Yeah. So it it reminds me of Lord of the Rings, because I really liked the first Lord of the Rings, because even though it ended like abruptly,
Mm-hmm.
you felt like that story, that chapter was done, because you got the resolution to especially Boromir when he died, and then gave his last little talk with Aragon, Strider, whatever his name was at that point. Um, you felt like, and maybe I think you probably felt the same way. I felt like that movie wrapped up its internal narrative and set me up for the next one. Empire Strikes Back wrapped up that narrative within what was done that movie and set me up for the next. Each of those movies were ones you definitely knew a sequel was coming, but you didn't feel like you were just abruptly cut off in the middle of it.
Sorry, I got distracted.
Yeah.
Wife, take care of my light work. Make
Yeah.
Yeti feel bad.
Bride of Slender says, wow. In a disappointed tone, Yeti, I think is how that. I don't know if there's a key for disappointed tone, but that's probably how it was keyed. Anyway, so I think the thing is, kids are going to be fine with it because it's got lots of pretty colors. It's got lots of people in Spider Man outfits jumping around, shooting webs, doing Spider Man stuff. So they'll be fine. There's nothing overtly scary or dramatic. I mean, if you remember the first one where they had the Kingpin, I think the way the Kingpin acted and did things in the first movie was probably more intense than even what we have in this one. But I do think it just be ready to the if you've got kids, especially smaller ones, in between the action sequences, they are probably going to get a little bored.
So is this
Because
like Into the Spider-Verse did so well that they didn't have enough control exerted
hey
over
Tina,
them, and they took liberties and went for like, because the way you describe it, it sounds to me like this movie was supposed to be a lot of fun, but the fun was over well before the movie was.
yeah. So this is definitely so this movie, the first Spider Verse, didn't make a huge amount of money. It was a middling success from the financial point of view, but it won the Oscar for Best Animated Feature. It beat Pixar and Disney. They were both nominated that year, even though Disney owns Pixar, but they get nominated as kind of separate art animation studios. And Into the Spider Verse actually won the Oscar and got like more. It got street cred within the people who made it. They made their bones like, hey, we did cutting edge animation, and we were pushing boundaries that other people weren't. So that's why I think that this time they wanted to keep pushing that as the like, hey, this is our reason for being. We're not just making a cookie cutter Spider-Man movie. We're going to also, do all sorts of crazy animation stuff. And who I just said hey to Tina. I would love to if, in chat if Tina wants to if she's seen this movie, what Tina's opinion on it is, because I know Tina's got a lot of
If
great
she's got a
Marvel
bad take
opinions.
for us,
I don't know because my review on this is the action parts I didn't mind at all. I thought were pretty well done. I appreciated a lot of the Spider-Man cameos and things they did. I just thought it was the pacing dragged on too and killed it. So it's a decent movie, and if it had been edited down to like 95 minutes, it would have been a great movie. So I think there's a great movie in this, and when some fan decides to do like a fan edit where they trim the fat, they're going to probably be able to get this one, really good. And I think this is going to something that will when we move on to revisiting John Wick 4, it's the same thing I felt about John Wick 4 too, which is that movie would have been great if they just trimmed the fat instead of being indulgent. That movie was probably around 25 to 30 minutes too long as well.
what the hell did Mad just post?
Hashtag not
Not
my
my Spider
Spider
Verse,
Verse,
although
although
never
never.
declared having one prior to the release of the first one. But this wouldn't be mine if
If
I ever
ever
made
made
one of
made an
official
official
declaration.
declaration. And Tina hasn't had a chance to see it yet to have a take, so that'll come up later, I guess. There you
This one.
go. I just want to bring this one back up. This is
Dude, I want that hashtag to start trending. Like that
I
is a great hashtag right there.
we gotta yeah. If you tweet that out, Mad, now we'll try to get that trending. Just for would that be the longest hashtag that's ever trended? Maybe that would be awesome.
That hashtag won't trend.
No, they'll shut it down. Well, I don't know. There's people gone from Twitter who might have shut it down, so maybe it would now. Um, so like the bottom line review for me on Spider Verse is it's a decent movie as is. It could have been a great movie if they just you know edited themselves instead of being indulgent.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, and you haven't seen it, so there's just, did you see the first one? Because it was on Netflix forever.
Yeah,
It
I
was
saw
just
Into the Spider Verse. I
yeah,
liked it. I thought it was a
yeah.
lot of fun.
I will say this: I've never been a huge fan of Miles Morales in the comic books. I don't think the characters ever.
I've never been a huge fan of Spider Man in general.
Well, Spider Man's one of my favorites, so I'm gonna say that they give him more charisma on screen than they've ever given him as a character on the page. Peter Parker always oozed fun and charisma. He was making jokes. That's what made Spider-Man, a fun, popular character. It was the combination of the responsibility and angst and the fact that he would be quipping and making jokes because he was trying to enjoy himself being Spider-Man because he felt the crushing weight of responsibility while he was doing. This Miles Morales actually has charisma, and I like the first movie and this one. This version makes me like the character a lot more than he's ever done on the page. If I was writing the comic books right now, I would say take a note on how to make the character more likable from that. Yeah, that's right, Yeti. My soothing, dulcet NPR tones make it clear when I've got a favorite character that I'm talking about. So that is another running gag from the movies with Mad that you can find at Mad Barber Entertainment. That I have such inflection in my voice when I talk about things that it's super clear about my emotional connection to whatever I'm saying.
Yeah, for the audience, if you can't tell right now, he's actually really annoyed.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. Happy little trees. So, no, it's so this movie is I would definitely, if you're gonna take your kids, it is a matinee price. Don't pay full price because you'll get your money's worth better that way. Because if you pay for the expensive full price ticket, and your kids start getting bored and maybe bringing some when the characters are kind of off screen doing just their talk parts, you're not going to want to have paid like $15 a ticket for that. But I think matinee prices are usually like 40-50% off the normal price. That's okay. And I don't know when this would be hitting streaming. I think because it's actually going to be successful, it's probably not going to be on streaming anytime in the next month or two. So if you have a desire to watch it, go see it. But go see it on a matinee, not a full price ticket.
Or just wait.
Or just wait. June is a loaded month for movies, though. We're like for the rest, basically the rest of June into the beginning of July, we are just getting movies week after week, which is going to be good. We're actually starting to get content again. That's fun. I think next week we get Transformers, which I think is going to be a terrible movie. And
I was going to say Transformers is going to be shit.
No, I think I'm only looking forward to it for the fact that I'm going to be able to just, in my very calm voice, rip it a complete new one because the Transformers live action movies after the first one have been so bad. So
yeah, I liked the first one a lot. The second one I thought wasn't that great. And like the more I think about it, I was like, it was kind of crap. And then there was the one with like the two like Hispanic smart car robots. Just like, what are we doing here?
Oh yeah, that's the one John Campea still. So John Campea, who is a YouTube personality who focuses on entertainment, if you ever want to have an interesting time, go look up his Transformers 2 review where he actually drops the N word. Not the hard R though.
Still out there?
Yes, he left it up on his channel. It's still there. Yeah. Which is funny because he just went off on a rant because people were complaining about the casting for How to Train Your Dragon. Did you guys discuss that on the Mad Dump? Probably
no,
not.
We did not. What's going on with How to Train Your Dragon? Are they doing a live action of that now too?
Oh, they are. You don't know?
Oh boy, no.
Did you like that movie?
Which one?
The first one.
The first one was absolutely amazing. The second one was disappointing by comparison, and the third one was also kind of disappointing by comparison.
All right, so we're gonna switch gears. I'm gonna switch over to how to drink because I had forgotten about this story. They announced the casting for Hiccup and Astrid, and this is your Astrid. That's Thandie Newton's daughter.
Okay, so what do people have a problem with?
She's Astrid from How to Train Your Dragon. You know
Okay, so what do people have a problem with?
The blonde Viking girl,
Right.
and this is a um, mixed race, not Viking girl.
Yeah.
That's what people have commented that they don't. They're not fans of casting her as Astrid.
Okay.
Let's see. Let me see if they
I
have a
mean, I
picture.
guess I'm just happy that Hiccup isn't a bald black woman.
well, I
So
get, well, under
I'm taking my win. Hiccup looks like kind of like Hiccup. So
but this is kind of setting up the same narrative that we've gotten. Did you watch the Last of Us television show at all?
yeah, Yeti made me watch a bunch of it and it was awful.
All right, so you remember the first episode when they do the intro from the game where his daughter gets killed?
Yeah.
She played the daughter.
She
She
What?
was she was the daughter in the first episode of Last of Us.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say I was thinking she was the other character. Never mind. Yeah.
No,
Not the new daughter, not the adopted daughter,
no,
the one
not
that
the
died in the first episode. Gotcha.
no, not Ellie, but
Yeah.
Sarah, the one who was his daughter's name Sarah. Yeah,
I don't remember.
and
That was
then
one of those games I watched play through, but I never played it myself.
yeah, yeah. Well, I thought you might remember from the TV show.
Well, the TV show was, I mean, they went the other direction with it in a way. Like, I know a lot of people are like, when you have this material, all you have to do is make the material. But it's like, you can't really do that when you're doing a live action of a video game because video games don't look that much different than live action these days, you know? So I'm watching this with Yeti and I'm just like, okay. I mean, there's some cool stuff happening here, but some of these lines, they're pulling a lot of this dialogue straight from the game. So why wouldn't I just play the game?
That's a good point.
And
And
then
then you
adding their
actually
own little subplot side stories that have nothing to do with anything, and I'm just like, oh, I'm done. I'm done.
so the but this is I mean what's interesting is to me this isn't even the worst example of screwing up like a Viking Nordic movie or
I
TV
mean,
show.
a
And Vikings
Viking girl
is
should have pale skin, blonde hair, and blue eyes. I mean,
yes,
that's
which is
that
what
is
the
your classic Nordic appearance.
in the most recent seasons of Vikings they didn't they have like a black woman playing like the leader of a Viking tribe?
Probably. I stopped watching Vikings after Ragnar died
Yeah.
because he was the only thing that made that show worthwhile, and he's gone now. Astro Knight, what's up?
No, welcome to the show. We're talking about casting for the How to Train Your Dragon live action movie, which came out, which was
I don't
announced this
know.
week.
Like, I'm not that angry about it, though. I guess they wore me down because at least they didn't, race and or gender swap the main character.
Well, I'm still waiting to see what they'll do, because it's you're
Although, in
right.
all
It's
honesty, he looks a little more effeminate than Hiccup did.
Hiccup was supposed to be gangly nerd, but not necessarily girly.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a very soft-looking boy.
Yeah, like who's a good example? Like who would be Hiccup, right? Well, I mean Jay Burkhall, who did the voice of him. Trying to think if there's anybody who could pull it off. I mean, let's see. Why are they doing a live action remake?
How to Train Your Dragon. Now that I would go see.
Yeah, that was so. That, by the way, is what Slender was worried about. That it would be How to Train Your Dragon. No, but yeah. So they're doing it to make money. They're doing it as a cash grab because when you put movies on streaming services, people don't buy the DVDs anymore. So if you want to get them to reinvest in your intellectual property, you basically relaunch it as a remake. And they're also going to be doing a How to Train Your Dragon section of their new Universal theme park they're building. And so they want a new movie to kind of launch that so that people are excited to go to that section of the theme park. Epic Universe is going to have a How to Train Your Dragon.
How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, I know.
How to Train
Now,
Your Dragon. We're getting into some dark territory here.
yeah. So. Oh,
I don't know though. Like the movies aren't that old. This baffles me because movies they go to live action so fast these days. But like the movies aren't that old. It's
what year do you think the first one actually came out?
the first How to Train Your Dragon?
Mm-hmm.
2012?
10. So you're only a couple years off your guess.
Yeah. I know my daughters were very young when it first came out, and one of them just absolutely loved it, and the other one really liked it too. So, but yeah, I don't understand what the goal really is here. Like it's going to suck by comparison. Like it might stand on its own, but it's going to suck by comparison, and we have seen this time and time again. I mean, Disney has written the book on it at this point.
All right, I'm going to share a different, just as a, because our Bounding into Comics knows how to actually set this story up. So here you go. You get a better side by side of the actress they cast versus what was in the movie when it was made.
Yeah, that one's a little weird. Now that I'm looking at it, it's that makes it a little more obvious that it's like that does not.
I just think it's funny because you remember your description of what a Viking girl should look like?
Yes, and that is not a Viking.
No, but what about on the right? Isn't that they nailed exactly what you said a Viking girl should look like?
Well, yeah, I mean, I remember what Astrid looks like.
Yeah.
And I mean, you think, like, especially up in the Scandinavian areas, Germany, etc., like, what is the stereotypical appearance of a beer frau, right?
Is that the girls who wear the little lederhosen and?
Yeah, and they have the blonde hair, and they carry around the beer steins, and they pass them out. Like, that's a thing.
Well, yeah, that's definitely not a Heidi, right?
And I'm not saying you have to go with the stereotype per se, but in retrospect, right? Like, whether you're going with the stereotype or not, the character already exists, and the character kind of fits the stereotype.
Mm-hmm. And I just don't know, like, if you're a young actor, like, you're like, how would you feel if, like, you're an actress who probably would have
Oh, Brahma found out. Brahma found out.
No. I read the chat, Yeti. You better keep my name out your damn mouth. Oh, we've got all sorts of stuff. We got a guest coming on the show. What's up, Mad Cheesemo?
Hello.
Do you have thoughts on anything that you want to share? Like your incredibly useful hashtag? It's so succinct. Like the TikTok generation will definitely be able to remember that one.
Really gets the message across in the most efficient way possible.
Rolls
off the tongue.
I could not think of a more concise way of saying it other than that.
We're bringing it back up on screen for people.
Oh man, succinct, very succinct.
This is the kind of thing where you're just hoping the hashtag autofills for you. Like, once you get past the not my Spider-Verse, you're like, hopefully that's the only one, so it's just going to give me that as the option to click to autofill.
Shredder asked, well, did you at least use uppercase whenever you were going into a new word? I went, nope.
Nope.
No. Slender did yeoman's effort trying to work
Oh, I
out
heard.
where he was like where the breaks were. I think we eventually figured out that.
Yeah.
It's,
You did pretty
it's
good.
fantastic. I want that hashtag to actually trend. That should be our new thing, is just incredibly run on hashtags.
Bizarre hashtags that we
like-
try to get trending.
Look,
2-word tweets with giant hashtags.
If I've ever been known for anything, is making big, complex ideas and thoughts into smaller hashtagable ideas and thoughts. Like my classic hashtag, the more money you earn, the more problems you will have.
That's
I like how
true.
you just fell right into your insecure character for that.
Well, some people might say more money, more problems, but
I know, I can. That is, I have summed it up the best I could.
Dude, the people who say more money, more problems have never had the problems of no money. Because I promise you, those problems suck a lot more.
Anyone who says, well, money's not the answer to everything has never had any money to try to answer questions.
Here's the thing. Money is not the answer to everything, but it
But
can buy you the answer to damn near everything.
The fuck, yeah. Who was it? Man, what's his name? Daniel Tosh. He was like, money isn't the source of happiness or whatever. He's like, yeah, you've never been on a jet ski. You've never been on a wave runner. Try not smiling on
You
a
can't
wave
not
runner.
smile when you are on a jet ski. Like,
Yeah.
I
feel like you just
understood
can't
that
do
show where old boy kept like he hit his jet skis so that he
Yeah.
could ride them around the lake.
I mean, I feel like if I was doing the Nuremberg loop in a Bugatti, I'd be like, that's worth smiling about. that's
What?
No, I might be scared in that situation.
Isn't a Bugatti where a whole bunch of dudes or gals are in a
No,
circle
no,
around your face?
Nope.
no.
Similar word, but very different. A Bugatti.
Oh, that's a
is-
car.
Yes, it is the world's first car to exceed 1,000 horsepower.
Yeah, okay, that is different. Wow. I
That is very different from what you were thinking.
have some regrets.
You were on Weeb Day this morning, weren't
No,
you?
I wasn't.
No, I
have
went
some
there to
regrets.
look, and poor 2345 was.
Oh,
feeling-
that motherfucker, man.
Oh, and there you go. You have your answer.
Yeah, leave it to even our chat. That's how degenerate our chat is. Like,
I mean, I knew the word. I didn't want to say the word.
we have 5 people watching, and like 2 people immediately are jumping in. No, that's not what the word you're looking for is, and typing that right up there. Oh, and then Yeti's in the background. He's probably like, I know it, but maybe his mom
Yeah, he's
might
like,
not
I
have
know
let him
it,
type
but I can't spell it.
Oh, Rama, you should know from movie night in the military.
We had a different acronym.
Yeah. In the Navy, what was it in the Navy? There, Slender.
I don't know. I never participated in any evolutions like that.
I did.
He said, lying.
No,
But yeah, I do have regrets about this dude was like, hey, I have this Bugatti, and I'm like, I don't want any Bugattis on this face.
You want this Bugatti all up in your grill?
I did not know he was trying to give me a free Bugatti.
Did you see they're making and this is all based on a true story. I saw a preview for it yesterday for Across the Spider-Verse, which is a Gran Turismo movie where a real dude who just played the video game became an actual driver. I was like, this is crazy. This really happened.
That's I don't know how this came up. Because we saw a trailer for that Forrest Griffin. Good lord, not Forrest Griffin, the UFC fighter. Not Forrest Gump either. Tom Hanks, that's his name. The medicine hasn't
Well, you
kicked in
got
all the
there.
way.
It was
Anyway,
a little weird how you got there, but you got there.
The Forrest Gump movie, My Name is Otto, or whatever it is. Otto is a
Yeah,
name?
yeah.
And I was like, man, Clint Eastwood already did this with his movie Gran Turismo. And the girlfriend's like, I've never seen that movie. I'm like, you've never seen Gran Turismo? And so I had to try to find a trailer for Gran Turismo,
Gran Turismo is a video game. Are you talking about Gran Torino?
Yeah, and that was the ending of the story that I was getting to.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
you just took the joke and you ripped it up and you stepped on it.
Ruined
I'll be
that
honest, I
one.
don't know where it was going
Wait,
because I was like,
no.
wait, what happened?
No, Mad. The only thing more awkward is this part right here.
I am curious to know how he responded.
Where Tina Bojan just had to ask Mr. Bojan what a bukkake is.
What do you mean you're on a business trip, Rama? What, are you in the living room?
A
Because
business
he's
trip.
always in the garage.
I know.
I thought he does everything from the garage.
Yeah, does that mean his business trip is walking into the kitchen?
That's what
He is asking, he's following up because he doesn't want you to say you didn't know about it. Are you going to be in Dallas next week, right?
Can you check
Matt?
your gain? I didn't hear all that, but we can move on.
Oh, sorry, Brahma. He didn't hear me when I
it's-
asked him about Dallas next week.
It's almost. Remember? Have you seen that clip? No, I'm gonna get to it. Remember that clip of that? No one
Ooh,
cares.
he won a reward for
Ooh.
sales.
What do you work for? A
he's
Dumlin Griffin?
ABC always be closing. First prize. He got a set of steak
Always
knives.
be. You put that coffee down.
Coffees
That
for
coffee is for
closers,
closers.
Brahma.
Did y'all hear my Dumplin Griffin? Yeah.
Dunder Mifflin. Yeah.
Yeah. It was weird as I just watched The Office before it came on here. I still fucked up the name. No, y'all remember that clip of that the scientist guy? He works for World Health, whatever, WHO, and the chick is like asking something about the Wuhan and whatever, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't hear that," and she's like, "Well, let me ask you again," and he goes, "No, we can move on to another
Oh yeah,
question."
will you recognize Taiwan as a sovereign
Oh, that was
nation?
it. Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, it's okay that I didn't hear the question. We can just move on." And then he hung up on her. He just cuts
Yeah.
the call.
That's great.
Like, wow.
I love the guys that can. I'm just gonna hang up. One of my favorite politicians of all time is Dick Cheney. And have y'all
Man,
ever
he
seen?
doesn't just hang up; he'll shoot you in the face.
And then make you apologize. Have you ever seen the clip where, I don't know who it was, but he was being interviewed and he's like, 80% of the country is against the war in Iraq. How do you respond to whatever? He goes, so. She's just like, what do you mean? So, and you could see him roll his eyes like, God damn it, am I gonna have to explain this? So what I mean to say is that we cannot, make all of our decisions based on polls or blah 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 blah.
Here's a fun fact for everybody listening. If you don't feel ashamed about it, they can't shame you, which is what the reporter was trying to shame him. And he was just like, no, I don't have any shame about this. So I don't give a F.
Oh, it was so good. Just to be in a mindset to where you're like, this will suffice. This will satisfy her question. So
Yep. Oh.
I
Matt,
love the clip of the Guam.
Yeah,
He's-
where he
Bro,
is.
I
It is.
couldn't believe
that
it
is a
when
congressman-
That senator said that.
No, it wasn't
Yeah,
a
he's a
senator.
congressman,
It's
yeah.
Congressman Hank Johnson from,
Yep.
I
Oh,
believe,
God.
Georgia.
No bullshit. That motherfucker is still there.
Yeah, he's been in Congress for like 40 years now.
And is he convinced that if everyone in America all ran to the East Coast, that it would capsize too? Does
Well,
he
no,
not
it's a continent,
understand?
dum dum.
Well, he
No.
doesn't
What
realize.
about Hawaii? Could we do it to Hawaii?
Well,
Absolutely.
he's
Okay,
concerned
okay.
about any island, small island, where if we just put all of our military on one side of it, will it not tip it? Will it not tip over the island?
It's basically when you're on a bus, and they're like, we can't have everyone sitting on the right side. You got to move to the left.
Now, if you've ever been on a small plane, because this was something where fat people tried to make fun of, try to go after an airline a few weeks back, because they were like, they made a woman weigh herself because they said she was lying about her weight, because she was going to be flying in like a small twin engine, propeller driven plane where you absolutely have to balance the weight across both sides of it. And so they got mad because they made this, because she was like, I'm 180 pounds. And those stewardess basically were like, the F you say, get on the
What?
scale. And she
Well,
was like,
the other
she
problem
was
with
well,
that,
she was obese. Like she was well over that.
yeah,
And
but the other problem with that isn't just distributing the weight evenly across the body of the aircraft. They
It's fuel,
yeah,
yeah.
they calculate fuel consumption based on weight. And if you are like, especially in a smaller aircraft like that, if you're a couple 100 pounds off on that weight calculation, you might not make it to your destination.
yeah, so the body positive people online were like, "This is we should be barred. They should be barred from asking about that." And it was like, "Fuck, lady, I'm not gonna die because you're pretending you're 120 pounds."
Yeah, I'm not crashing into the side of a mountain and exploding in a ball of fire for your fucking
Well,
feelings.
About the fuel thing, though, most people may not know this, but airlines are kind of cheap sometimes. Sometimes.
They'll fill up just what they need.
Just enough fuel to get
Yeah.
to where they're going.
Like, that was the funniest thing if you've ever seen Die Hard 2, when they're like, "Oh, all these planes are loaded with fuel. They're just going to be circling forever." It's like, no, they won't. They don't. They are going to have enough to get where they're going and land.
Yeah,
They're not-
they can make 5 or 6 laps in a holding pattern, and then they're
And
getting
then they're-
diverted.
Yeah.
Did y'all know I went to aeronautics school after high school?
I
I
did
flew
not know
planes.
that. Oh, awesome.
Hmm?
Which, like, little single engine?
Yeah,
Cessna types?
152s. Yeah, Cessna 152s, 172s. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you had a big old fatty coming on that plane, you would definitely know, like, oh, I need to balance that weight out. I need to...
Yeah, I mean,
I can just picture him like sitting there gassing it up. He's about to pull the gas off. He sees this person walking to the plane. He's
Well,
like,
looks
"We're
like
gonna
I'll
need
need
a
a
few
little
extra
bit more."
gallons."
This is mad to the
This
to
is
flight
mad.
attendant. Can you do the extra surcharge? Because I'm looking, and we're gonna have to top off this tank. We're
what's,
gonna-
well, what I was picturing, by the way, when you were talking about Die Hard, in the planes didn't have enough. I was just picturing planes pulling up to an airport. Just put $5 on it. $5 in it.
Oh, yeah.
The pilot going, "I'm like $5, please." Put 5 on pump 7.
Oh, I love.
I know how
that.
far I'm going.
Then he looks back at the huge person and he's like, "Better make it 10."
Oh shit! You know what? Oh, so you're in the plane, and the light comes on as it would on a plane, and you start going left and right, trying to get all the fuel to go into the.
They
into the
did
tank.
that in a movie.
Did they really? My dad
I
did that
don't
all the time when we were
remember
driving.
what movie that was, but
You got to swirl the tank around so you
Yeah.
can get those.
So
last
it goes
bits.
into the funnel or whatever to
Yeah.
get to the engine. Yeah, you gotta swing the plane left and right.
Oh, that's.
What
yeah.
were we talking about?
I
How
don't
did we
even
get
know.
to planes putting
Oh, it's
5 on
bec-
pump 7?
Oh, I believe that goes back to Brahma derailing us talking about Hank Johnson thinking Guam was gonna sink.
Yeah, but how
And
do
then
we
we
even get
talk-
to that?
it all
Then-
started off with the live action remake of How
Oh,
to Train
there
Your
it is.
Dragon. Then somehow we got into a discussion about jet skis.
Oh, don't
Then
forget
you
Bugatti.
pivoted to a Bugatti, which Matt
Oh,
thought
I
was a
did.
bukkake. And then from there, I don't know. I've lost the plot.
You know what I
That's
would
the whole point of our show.
You know what I would love? It's the whole point of every show I'm on. It always happens. I
That's
would
why
love-
you're our perfect guest, man.
I want someone. I'm not gonna do it, but I want someone, Tina, to be able to put a graph to chart the different topics, just to see the evolution of where we started. You know what I mean? To where we got to.
Mad, we had Culture Casino on last week.
Yeah, that's why I
and-
didn't come on.
Yeah, by the end of it,
Throwing
by the end
shade.
of it, by the end of it, he was like, "I know we had talked about topics that we were going to discuss, but I'll be damned if we got to any of them." And I was like, "That's welcome. That's how we run our show, and it's a good time because that's what we do." So,
Oh, you know what? I wish I would have gave you this before you had him on. I didn't even think about it. Hold on, let me find it real quick. Here
Oh,
we
are
go.
you giving it to us now?
Yeah.
all right, let's see what we got.
Casinos in the room, Casinos in the rain. No fucks given. Casino, casinos in the rain.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh.
By the way,
Is that something
lyrics.
we're gonna have to do? Start making intro stings for all our different guests.
Lyrics and performance was done by Mad Mardigan.
That was awesome. I mean, it's not as up to par as the stuff you get made for your intro outro songs.
Oh, true. Well, that was a clip that. Oh, dude, have y'all never? Oh, I can't play that one. You'll get claimed. But
the koalas in the rain one.
no,
Oh,
that's what that one's
We'll
based
get
on.
claimed. Oh no, they'll take all of our $0.
Yeah, good point, Slender. No, because if you didn't know, everybody, we are bringing back Mailbag. We're going to be adding it to our movies with Mad, and it's going to be a part of it now. Have you ever seen it? Is this the right one? Check this one.
We've never had a mailbag.
This is
All the small things, true care, truth brings.
I can't remember if this is the right one.
One lift, you're
I have several
right.
different.
Best trip, always.
This may not be it. This is not it. Nope, sorry. I have another one with culture dancing. I'll find it. Anyway,
Okay.
we can move on.
Matt, did you watch John Wick 4? Did you go see that one?
No, but yes, I have seen it.
Oh,
You saw it like I saw it?
you Jolly Rogered it.
Absolutely not. No, I never do that. I understand people are like, well, the studios make so much money and blah blah. True, but not the caterers and not the smaller guys that depend on the money. And I think that, pirating movies affects more than just your Hollywood A-listers and your studios. It affects everyone that is involved in. There's so many people that actually worked on these productions that it's actually taking money from people just like you and me. So out of principle, I do not ever.
Well, and I
Probably
mean,
is.
let's be honest. If we're talking, the studios make so much money. Okay, how is that relevant? You fucking socialist. I don't give a shit if they make a whole bunch of money. That doesn't mean they owe you a movie.
Now, how does that apply to Philippine-made movies from the 1980s?
Hey, fuck you, Chad. All right.
Yeah, how about that?
There's differences. I'm actually promoting it because I don't show the whole movie, and people are like, man, I would like to see it in this full. Let me go buy it. Boom.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to go see Mega Lightning because I was like, holy shit, I got to know more about this Mega Lightning.
Well, I mean, you did see
I'm
the whole
very nervous.
Mega Lightning.
I mean, I did, yeah.
I thought you
Yeah.
were a mega lightningologist.
I am a Mega Lightningologist, but apparently there were some new discoveries that were incorporated in that. Like, the tectonic activity was interesting to me, and I did not understand. Like, was it Mega Lightning at the end, or was that Highlander Lightning that killed him because he wasn't
Oh,
a
yeah.
Highlander?
Yeah.
There's a lot of studies that need to be done at this point.
I'm just saying that for the sequel, since we know mega lightning can cause tectonic activity, it should open up a hole where dinosaurs come out, and then you're really
Living in the land of the lost.
No, what should
Exactly.
happen is Mega Lightning should cause tectonic activity that leads to a volcano that erupts with sharks that are then caught in a tornado with the lava, and you have a lava shark tornado with Mega Lightning.
Ooh, and Tommy
feel
Lee
like
Jones is in charge of emergencies in L.A.
Yep.
You know, Slender, a Sci-Fi Channel executive heard your description and probably just came in his pants because he's like, "That's exactly what we're gonna do for
Oh,
sweeps."
and you wanted dinosaurs, so the eruption also shoots a bunch of velociraptors into the volcano or into the tornado with
Are
the
they
sharks.
gonna have feathers though?
First of all,
Because-
you're gonna want lava velociraptors, lava raptors.
It's gonna be Shark Raptor NATO
Because
lightning.
I'm just gonna say
Kano.
I've been informed. I was I saw a program. It was a behind the scenes, soon to be released thing talking about the Spielberg being so overrated, and so I definitely feel like feathers on dinosaurs is an important thing that should be
Oh,
represented in the future.
You know what I love?
I hate feathery dinosaurs.
You know what I loved? I loved. I'm not gonna mention who it is, but somebody was like, "I'm gonna try to improve on his joke by spelling the joke out very distinctly by even with year, and instead of saying Steven, I'll say Mr. Spielberg." There, you're welcome. Up.
How-
Not gonna say who that was. Yeti.
Yeti got quiet. I didn't put him on timeout, I swear.
No, he's probably maybe his mom's yelling at him. I don't know.
Oh, now, but not the other night when he's
These
like,
are your friends? What is wrong with you, Yeti?
if he was ever gonna get in trouble, it was for when he was making all those monkey noises.
Oh Jesus, yeah,
Yeah, that was just him.
that was.
I didn't do any of it.
But
It
yes,
wasn't-
I have seen John Wick 4.
Yeah. So, all right. I feel like I was talking with Slender before the show, and I told him that for me, I liked John Wick 4, but I thought the entire Japan sequence probably could have been cut, and the movie would not have missed a beat story wise. What do you think?
Same here, man. There were so many moments with a girlfriend and I where like, this thing is still fucking going.
It was 2 hours and 40 minutes.
It
Now,
It's
was
a
insane.
long ass movie. Now
the
I do disagree
the
with you, though,
entire
little Chad.
the entire Paris sequence was amazing, but
I don't think the Japan sequence needed to be cut, but I think you could have cut Mr. Nobody and his dog because they served zero fucking purpose in the movie.
I did not care for them at all.
I
I don't
think
know why they were.
They
in
had
it.
no purpose. It was
I
like,
told you,
okay,
it
what's
was-
what's the driving force behind having
you-
that character?
do you
there?
wanna know?
You
Because I
hired
told
him-
you.
You told me, but let me
It
get
was-
my point out first.
Yeah.
You hired him to track down John Wick, but you have Donnie Yen's character who knows where John Wick. Every time John Wick goes there, Donnie Yen's character shows up because he knew John Wick was going to go there. So why did you need this tracker?
You also have a radio network that is specifically designed to let people know where
Yeah,
he's at.
like they've never had a problem finding him in the other
Nope.
movies. Like this
No.
character
Or in this movie.
was fucking pointless.
No. Oh, it was so mad. My point was that his character existed solely so they could have a 45-70 tactical lever action getting used during the movie.
Oh, I did like that. I would think that it was because, well, diversity.
With John Wick, I'm more. It's probably because they wanted that gun in there. It's just like they wanted Dragon's Breath, which serves no purpose practically in
But
any way.
that scene, though, was awesome with that
The Hotline
overhead
Miami.
shot.
Yep,
The Hotline Miami scene, it was fucking badass.
That was great. There were some that were less great.
The fight around the Arc de Triomphe was cool, but it's like, okay,
But he
John
kept
Wick has been
getting
hit by
a
12
car.
cars now.
Yeah, he should be like I don't know what that
And it
bulletproof
just-
suit doesn't
It wore out
protect
its
him. From,
welcome. It kind of wore
Yeah.
out its welcome.
I was Honest Trailers doesn't make me laugh that much anymore, but
No.
they did have a funny line because they did the Honest Trailer for John Wick 4, and
So it turned off car damage.
They turned off car damage, and I was like, that's true.
Yeah.
That's the most clever thing that they have came
Came up with in like 3 years.
since Andy Signor left.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I would say the thing about John Wick 4 was it's an amazing kind of conclusion to the John Wick saga, if you will. But only if you cut half of it out, because it did not
Yeah,
need to be 2
it-
hours and 40
that
minutes.
all right. So the sequence in the desert where they're just walking, where he's chasing the guys on the horse, and then he
Didn't
goes.
need it.
And then he goes to the Shah, and he was like, "I want, my ring."
You
back."
could
And
you
he's
could have
like-
skipped that whole
And
fucking
he
It
go-
wasn't even the
all-
same dude.
Yeah, all for him to just say, "I don't have it," and John Wick to kill him. It was like this served no narrative purpose at all. It's just
No,
like-
I mean, I am so glad that I did not go see it in the theater.
Dude,
Because-
you could have made that part a throwaway line as to why the table had gone like scorched earth on him and hired and like put the whatever is the Frenchies in charge.
Yeah,
Like you could have made that a throwaway line like, dude, John, you killed the elder. Of course they're after you.
honestly,
Yeah.
didn't even remember it happened until right now. That
Yeah.
he did that. That's why they were after him. I was just there for the ride, which they didn't need all that, But
No.
yeah, I'm so glad I didn't see it in the theater. Imagine trying to sit there for 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Dude,
Oh.
I'm thankful that I saw it in my home because I was able
Yeah.
to pause halfway through and go, I need a cup of coffee and a cigarette because it's like
I can't remember if we had to take a break or not.
this movie running long.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm guessing you had. I mean, the Japan sequence just went on forever. I really look. I loved the fight with Scott Adkins, but I feel like that also didn't really.
I liked the fight with what was his name?
That
you
seemed
said?
more like we need a fight in a nightclub because we're John Wick and we always do fights in nightclubs.
Oh,
so-
that one really bothered Stretta because the fat suit. She was like, "Why did you have to have him in a fat suit? It looks ridiculous."
It
'Cause they
did,
wanted
but
it
I
to look
loved how
ridiculous.
ridiculous. Like I loved
Yeah.
that this fat man roundhouse kicks him
Well-
off the fucking balcony.
And as soon as that happens, she's like, "Oh, that's why they needed a guy in a fast suit." Oh, because my thought was, why didn't they do the Kingpin idea where all of his fighting is based
just-
around his mass?
Mass, yeah.
And
He's bear
strength.
hugging you.
Yeah.
He's clotheslining you. He's absorbing your impact and then just crushing you with
Right.
force.
Well, that would
Because
have
he's
been
an assassin,
so much.
so maybe he was trained that way.
Shit, he was not an assassin. Assassin of burgers. Nailed it.
yeah,
He
it was.
assassinates Wendy's on the
It
regular.
was. You can tell it was because they wanted to give a part to Scott Adkins because he's an action movie guy.
I mean, I thought it was a really well done fight scene. Like I said, it felt like a boss battle.
Yeah,
You had this kick ass fighting going on, and then like when we go into phase 2, a bunch of the fucking henchmen come
But-
in, and you got to fight off the henchmen before you can continue on the boss.
I actually think not only could they have cut it, I think it would have worked better for John Wick's character is when, they're like, you have to go and kill this guy who killed our father, or whatever accent they had, I can't remember. But
Oh yeah, the fake Eastern European,
Yeah, that one.
vaguely like.
Yeah.
I am Russian. I make F
I
with
don't
you.
yeah, it's just, anyway,
we are comrades now.
yeah. So they tell him, yeah, you got to go kill this guy. And then it cuts to him coming right back and giving the tooth or whatever it was that he's like, it's done. Because one, that's going to save you a shit ton of time of them just sitting there staring at each other like, oh, we're going to play cards now. Oh. And it also solidifies again, John Wick is a fucking nasty, badass motherfucker. That he did it.
I liked the poker sequence a little bit,
I
mostly
am
because
so over the dead man's hand.
I liked that John
I
Wick
swear
got the
to
dead
God,
man's hand. I thought
if
that
I
was
get one more like movie where they try to make a, I mean,
right, but they followed through on that. Like they
I
did.
know, but I
Spoiler
just-
alert for those of you who haven't seen it, they followed through on that foreshadowing. But like, you played 5 twos. Like everyone knows you cheated at this point. Why did now this has been nullified? This is a pointless gesture.
because he doesn't
like-
even care. That's the and Don.
I think
you
mine
know,
would have worked better.
What's that?
Of them saying go kill this guy, and then
Yeah.
the next scene is him
No,
just
I do like your idea of him just like it immediately cuts to him coming back
Yep.
with like maybe not a tooth because we don't even know what the guy looks like.
right whatever
But maybe
it
just
was.
he
Yeah.
throws like a fucking potato sack on the table, you know?
Yes, yeah, anything, and just like now give me my mark or whatever it is.
Yeah. Like that could have worked, but I actually really did enjoy the fight, but I think there are other things that would have been better to cut. I think you could have definitely streamlined the fight around the Arc de Triomphe because it wore out its welcome. You didn't need the horse chase at the beginning in the desert because it had nothing to do with shit.
Yeah, you could easily have gotten this thing down to 90 minutes.
And Mr. Nobody and his dog did not even need to exist. They served 0 plot points. I mean, what did he do? He followed John Wick around. He talked about killing John Wick, but never killed John Wick. Then he watched John Wick in the final duel,
Yeah,
drinking a
so-
beer, and was like, "Oh, damn, man!"
So
And-
you-
and
yeah,
like,
you cut-
wow, great
you can-
fucking contribution.
If you cut Mr. Nobody and his whole sequence out, that saves you probably about
30 minutes.
8 to 10 minutes, because you would have done some of the other scenes. They were concurrent.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I'll give you that.
But you take the sequence out from the desert where he's going after that. That's about a 5 minutes. And then if you take out Japan or you streamline it, because you can streamline like that. Whole,
I
you know,
think
that's-
Japan should have been streamlined a little.
That is like that could have been 25 to 30 minutes of savings, and then so if you add it all up, you're at 40 minutes of savings right there.
yeah.
Yeah, because even with the Japan thing, we never got back to her finding because he was like, "I'll be looking out for
That's
you."
an after credits. You missed it.
There was after
Yeah.
credits.
There's an
Yes.
after credit.
Yeah.
Didn't even see it.
Neither did Donnie.
Okay,
Yen.
spoiler alert.
Oh,
Put up the
because he's
spoiler alert.
blind.
Put up
Come
the
on.
spoiler alert. Yeah, Donnie. But Donnie Yen is the most amazing fucking martial artist today, though.
I'm
He's
kind
really
of
good.
tired. I'm kind of tired of him always having to be blind.
I mean, this is what the second or third time.
Yeah.
But it's the only way to make it a fair fight. But okay, big spoiler. Since you didn't see the after credit, I'll tell you about it. Donnie Yen is got a big old bouquet of flowers because he's going to go see his daughter. And you see the Japanese guy's daughter. You see her walk up, and a knife comes out, and then it goes to black. So you don't know what happened, but you know she made her move on him.
Yeah, cool. The Gray had a better after credit scene.
Yeah, and then I know. So for our next John Wick movie, they're going to do the ballerina, right? So that's going to be.
Guess what? I'm skipping.
How do you do another John Wick movie at this point?
It's a spin-off.
Without John Wick.
Yeah, because it's going to be a prequel. You know.
See, I figured the only way you're doing another John Wick movie is we find out that the whole John Wick is dead with the tombstone at the end. They faked that so that the table wouldn't come after him again.
Well, yeah, but they couldn't come after him again because he won.
Yeah, but I mean,
there's
once
never
upon a time
getting-
he got out and he never got out. So what's to stop them
He
from
did get
reneging
out
on the
until
deal
he came
again?
back on. He made the decision to come back.
If you go back to the first movie, it feels like what they explained for his backstory doesn't make any sense by the fourth movie. Because if there's all this, the table and all these rules and all that, like, how in the F did that one random mob guy be in a position to let John Wick retire? It doesn't.
Well, I mean, the lore expands out, and it kind of fits. It's a little clunky. The lore does expand out as the movies progress, but I mean, it's. Here's the thing, the first one was great. The second one I actually really enjoyed too, especially
I did not care for it.
I liked the Baba Yaga speech. Like the Baba Yaga speech made it for me.
You mean the first 10 minutes when?
Yes.
When he's taking down. See, that's so you know what, like what Mad was talking about, how you handle him going to get the Russian guy who killed the people.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you do it. You have like someone giving like the voiceover speech, scared shitless because John Wick is just plowed through your entire little gangster army and is coming for you.
Yeah, like
just
that
kills
one
you.
was awesome. It
I
wasn't
like
as
the
good as
third
the
one
first.
better.
I agree.
No,
The
it
third one I thought was the second and third one I both think are relatively mid, but the Baba Yaga speech in the second one is amazing, and the German Shepherd scene with Halle Berry in the third one is fucking awesome.
My biggest issue with the second one is everyone was trying to hand deliver bullets to John Wick. I thought
I'm going to take my my firearm, which is best at distance, and just make it.
Because they were all walking up.
constantly happening. And
There
they
was a
cleaned it
lot
up
of
in the
that
third.
going on in the fourth one too.
Yes, there was. But
Except for the only guy who was shooting at distance was the guy you wanted to cut out, Slender, because he was the one taking his 45-70 and shooting people from.
dude,
Yeah, but he served
Astro,
narrative purpose. That's the problem.
oh man, I am such a big Bert Kreischer fan, dude. I have his. I mean, I have his book, and if you haven't listened to his book, oh man, listen to audio. He does a great job reading it because he'll stop because he's laughing on at his own jokes in his book. It's such a Bert Kreischer thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Machine, dude. I'm
he's
excited
the
to see
comedian
it.
who doesn't wear a shirt, right?
Yeah.
he's
He's one of
funny
my
as hell.
favorites. He's one of my favorites, man, because he's a storyteller. I love it.
He's fun.
I want to see that so bad, dude. I wonder.
It's-
He has a he has a book. It's amazing. Yeah, if you get on Audible, get it, because I'm telling you, he's reading it, and he'll start laughing with his high pitched, and he'll be like, "I forgot I wrote that line. That's so good."
I love it when comedians get cracked up by their own jokes because they're that good.
Then he's your guy, dude.
I do, but I hated it
buffest
on
fat guy
Saturday
I've
Night
ever
Live
seen.
because Jimmy Kimmel could not do a skit without laughing
Well,
at his own fucking jokes.
Here's the
Not
problem
Jimmy
with
Kimmel.
that.
Wait, Jimmy Fallon.
Here's the problem. He's not funny.
Yeah, but that was my thing. I was like, it's not that funny, man.
No,
Like the
he's
only
not
time
funny.
I gave Fallon a pass for laughing during a skit was when they were doing the boot camp skit with Will Ferrell as the drill sergeant.
Yeah, and that's because he's not funny. It's because of how funny Will Ferrell is.
Yes, and Will Ferrell like has Fallon laughing. Fallon can't stop laughing, and he
Oh,
starts
there's Yeti.
leaning forward with his freaking battalion hat or whatever the hell they call those things, and hitting him with the brim of the hat.
The Italian hat. Loving that Bert laughs at his own joke is the most bad thing ever. That's true. Yeah, I fully endorse. If your joke is funny, you should laugh.
You should. You should be part of the part of the community enjoying the,
Yeah, absolutely.
the story.
That's why Yeti never laughs.
Yeti, find the sequel to Hard Ticket to Hawaii, and also find For Your Height Only. In Space Movie 1992.
Oh, we're already setting up for the after party, huh?
Yeah, I gotta
The
I gotta
meds
go,
are going to be kicking in.
yeah, I gotta go do some things real quick to get ready, and I'm gonna go have a smoke, and I'll let you guys get to the boring. So this week on,
You're putting too much inflection in the voice that you're
I
trying
know.
to do for my impression.
Are you saying that we need to get to the Nielsen ratings at
That's
this point?
it. That's it. By the way,
You got to be more like just.
you know how Shredded the other night goes, you know how I know that you're really tired? Because you're using your Chad voice.
Wow, dude. Shots fired.
What am I going to disagree with? Like I'm 100% self-aware that I have no inflection in my voice.
Hold on. I'll do it. So, Matt has to go. He's going to go smoke a cigarette before we do the after party where we're going to watch a really exciting movie. And then once he's gone, we will be checking out the Nielsen ratings and seeing what things look like for the rest of the week. So
Yep.
That's
thanks
not bad.
thanks for being with us, Matt. It's been really good, and we are so glad friend of the show Matt could join us today.
I would love to be able to do impressions of you guys, but it won't work, so I can't. So.
Honestly, if I hadn't seen that Chad is a real person, I would suspect this entire like, is he AI? Slender, this your AI friend that you made up because you were lonely?
Too much impression.
Yeah, I noticed once or twice I was inflecting a little too much, and I was like, damn it.
It's like,
I'm being
ChatGPT,
too
stop it. ChatGPT, stop inflecting too much. You need to continue.
All right. I'll see y'all in a little bit, guys, please.
Oh,
Bye, guys.
Yeti says he's still waiting
What?
for the please to
Well, keep
get those
waiting.
movies.
Well, keep waiting. Okay. I guess we'll watch a movie, or we won't.
We'll see. So I think bottom line is both of us agree John Wick 4 is just too long. And that's
Yeah,
another one
yeah,
where it went
like-
from being, it's a good movie, it's solid. Like I enjoyed my time watching the movie. But I think that
Yeah, but it's one of those movies I'm never gonna watch again. I'm gonna go find the sequence that I liked and watch that sequence. You know?
I'm trying to remember. What was the runtime on the first John Wick? Because it was a tight movie. It was paced like really. I'm looking it up because
Yeah, me too.
it was only an hour and 41 minutes. So that's
That's an
just
hour
based-
less than what. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. The original John Wick was 101 minutes.
that's 141 minutes. Yeah, that's 1 hour and 41 minutes. 1 hour and 41 minutes.
Okay, 101
So-
minutes. John Wick 2 was just over the 2-hour mark, and John Wick 3 was 130 minutes. So 2 hours 10 minutes.
Yep.
So, they
got
just keep
longer.
getting longer and longer, and this one
But-
was too long.
But I think, when you look back, I don't feel like I got any more story in any of these other movies than I got in the first one. In terms of character, motivations, finding out what was, I think I got as much story that stuck with me from the first movie as I did for the third and fourth movies, and they did that in just over 90 minutes. And there's no reason, looking at what we just broke down, there's no reason John Wick 4 couldn't have done the same thing in just over 90 minutes.
Honestly, I'm wondering if there weren't significant cuts to this movie already, And it wouldn't have been better to do this as a finale with a part 1 and a part 2.
Nah, then you're like, I guess.
You know what I'm
mean-
saying? Because like maybe the Mr. Nobody actually served some kind of narrative purpose, but that narrative purpose got erased in cuts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I also think maybe they'll, because the budget for this new movie was like $100 million when all the other John Wicks were only like 40. And if you spend an extra $60 million, I think you're right. There's probably like another hour and a half of movie that.
Well,
got cut.
they probably spent about 20 grand on fucking Dragon's Breath alone.
God, that was the was it the Hotline Miami scene, as we've called it,
Yep.
was amazing. Just the idea of setting that up and doing it. The two scenes that stick with me from an action standpoint are Hotline Miami and the stairs, just because of how ridiculous it was when he fell down and just kept going down those stairs all the way down to the bottom.
Yeah, I kept trying to figure out why he didn't stop himself on any of those landings in the
Those
middle.
landings weren't small. Like, you had plenty of space where you should have been able to kind of.
That was my point. Like, why didn't he stop there?
It's because it's almost like he was a stuntman who was told to do the entire set of stairs epically.
Yeah,
falling down.
I guess that was a little weird. I mean, the scene was cool. The fights were good. I liked a lot of it. I liked the way they ended it. I thought it was a great ending for the series. I just don't know that it needed to be 2 hours and 40 something minutes.
Nope. Rob wants to know what's good, what's really good. So what's good is John Wick 4. What's really good is John Wick 4 if they cut out about 40 minutes of movie.
Honestly, yeah, they could probably cut an hour.
Yeah.
I think they could easily cut an hour.
Yeah. I mean, I think even if they cut it down to like 2 hours, it would have been good. I mean, but you're right. About 90 minutes would have been like the absolute super well-paced sweet spot. Just like the first movie. Just maybe go 10 minutes over that, like an hour and 40 minutes. Bam. Just cut, like you said, cut out a whole hour.
Hollywood doesn't do pacing well anymore, I've noticed.
No, because... And you notice how it would happen is the run times got bigger each John Wick movie because the studio probably got less balls about telling them to keep it on time and under budget. Because they start, because look, we brought you John Wick. Everybody loves John Wick. We'll walk if you don't let us make the movie we want. Well, then all of a sudden, hey, instead of making you stick to 90 minutes, you go 2 hours and 40 minutes, and it's just a little bit too bloated. And I mean, I still love a lot of it. I like the movie. There will be sequences I want to watch. Like, I will want to probably go back and watch Hotline Miami scene.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna watch the whole movie. I'm gonna go find the scenes that I liked.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch I'm gonna watch the fight with the fat guy because I found it entertaining. It was ridiculous. I'm gonna watch Hotline Miami. I'm probably gonna skip the Arc de Triomphe because the constantly getting hit by a car just kind of wore on me.
Like, for example, I've watched the Dungeons and Dragons movie 3 times now, right?
Yeah.
But there is a sequence in that movie I have watched probably 15 times.
Is that the maze?
Nope.
The escape from the prison?
No. It's the scene where he walks up playing his lute and then the illusion goes wrong.
You love that one so much.
Oh my god, it's perfect. It was
Matt
great.
says, I honestly think the Extraction sequel will be better. I love the first one. Extraction was it was a Netflix movie. It was tightly paced. We'll see. Hopefully there. Oh, and if you're in chat, if you can send Yeti the movies you wanted, because he, I think, forgot what he's supposed to be getting. So if you want to let him know.
It was the sequel to Hard Ticket to Hawaii. And that's all I remember.
Yeah, there was some other ones that had some interesting titles, so I couldn't remember them.
Oh,
and yes, Astronaut is right. Yes, the D&D movie wasn't complete crap. It was that's a good example of expectations being exceeded.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah. So, and you enjoyed it enough to support it through purchase, which is saying a lot.
Yeah, I'm really sad that it will probably never get a sequel because I liked where they were going with it.
All right. So we're wrapping up. Let's see. We talked about.
Well, we got to talk Super Mario Brothers, so I'll just wrap this one up really quick. Super Mario Brothers was good. It was fun. There was a lot of nostalgia, but I still think people gave too much of a pass on the Girl Boss Peach thing. Because, okay, at least they didn't take the final victory away from Mario and Luigi at the end. But in every other scene, she did not fucking need them.
Okay, she needed them for the Donkey Kong, when she went to get the army from the Kongs.
Did she?
She did because they weren't going to talk to her. They
Did
made a
she
point of
though?
that.
Because let's be honest, she kicked Mario's ass. She kicked Bowser's ass at one point. She kicked half of Bowser's minions' asses at one point.
Are you talking about it?
She didn't.
No, hold on.
She got
At the
Mario got Donkey Kong because Peach never ended up attacking anybody and threatening them. But if Mario wasn't there, she probably could have got it done.
No,
regardless.
because she wouldn't have done it. And then when she fights Bowser at the end, she loses, and Bowser's about to destroy her kingdom.
No, she doesn't.
She does.
She beats Bowser, and then
No,
Bowser
she
says,
doesn't.
"I'm going to kill all these little toads if you keep this up." And she goes, "Fine, I won't do it."
No, he freezes her or whatever. She
No,
beat
she
her.
froze him.
I'll have to go back and watch it because I haven't.
She literally used her cool
She-
ice power to freeze him.
She was losing, and was going to lose. She had a good run where she was doing okay, and then she lost, and then he was going to wipe out her kingdom because of her little revolt, and that's when Mario comes in and actually saves the day.
Yes, I do not disagree that Mario saved the day in that circumstance.
Yeah, here you go, Rob. They denied Peach. It took Mario to convince Cranky for the challenge. So yeah,
I agree with that.
So without Mario, they don't get the Kongs. And Peach froze Bowser, but he got out. That's what I'm talking about. Because Bowser, that was the beginning where Peach was winning.
Yeah,
but
and when Bowser got out, because Peach had already won at that point, Bowser
No.
got out because Bowser saw Mario and Peach talking and got jealous, broke the ice, and then commanded the giant bomb bullet bill thing to destroy the Mushroom Kingdom. Like, he didn't kick Peach's ass or anything.
But Peach was going to lose with Mario not there. I'm pretty sure. Well, I'll go back and watch it again once it's on stream. Well, you have it. We'll watch it. Maybe we'll watch it. Double.
Yeah, I got it. I mean,
I don't. From what I remember, because I was waiting for it, Peach had started
and I agree with
strong,
Yeti
but-
on that too. Got the Kong army. What did the Kong army do? Oh yeah, they all died on the Rainbow Road. Like they contributed nothing to the battle against Bowser, really.
Yeah, without the Kongs, we don't get the Star Road. Yeah, that's true. So again, what it's showing is that without Mario, Bowser wins anyway. And so Mario was the
And there
reason
with
they
Rob
actually
Kuro,
succeeded.
I agree with him too. Mario and Luigi at the end saved the day. I do agree that at the end they saved the day, and I'm thankful that Girl Boss Peach didn't steal that victory away from them too. But up until that point, man, girl bossing was going on. A whole lot of girl bossing.
Yeah, so Peach and Donkey Kong fought with Bowser on Earth. He overwhelmed them all. Yeah, exactly. Mario and Luigi are the ones who supered up and saved the day. And
Yeah, the final sequence was perfect. Like that part that happened in Boston, I guess. Like that was beautiful.
And of course, the new hit song Peaches. Oh, look, we got Yeti coming
It
in.
meant nothing. Nothing changes, Chad.
Dude,
nothing.
Turn your
Zero.
volume down a little. Whoa, you are.
He came in hot right there.
You,
Came in
yeah,
hot.
I agree with him. I think this is one of these few times when me and Yeti are on the same page about the movie.
Wait,
And,
my volume's all messed up?
Oh, you
No,
were
just
loud. You
just
came in hot.
I think it might have been StreamYard's just not adjusting you yet.
Oh, okay.
Brooklyn, right? Brooklyn.
Yeah,
Did
it
I
was
say
Brooklyn.
Boston?
You said Boston. Like,
Oops.
come on.
Oh, shit. Somebody turned off my...
Could I try
Nope.
to jump in? Oh, yeah.
No,
why
and
not?
it's no automatically adjust. I don't know what's going on then. But
Uh-oh.
either way, everything that happened was meant nothing in the entire movie because no segment changes up until that very end. Like, Peach would have been, she could have, if she made one decision different, would have beat Bowser. Bowser would have made all the same decisions, even if Mario wasn't there. I still enjoy the movie, but nothing changes if Mario is not there. There's nothing in the plot that goes different.
I kind of agree.
All right, I am gonna because I'm
And
arming
you're talking about a
myself.
guy who actually really liked the movie. Like there was a lot
Yeah.
of nostalgia. It was a lot of fun. It was I enjoyed watching it and would happily watch it again. But if the
It's
people who
meaningless.
say and the people who say that Peach wasn't girl bossing, Peach was girl bossing.
It just wasn't offensive girl bossing. But
No.
she was girl bossing.
And honestly, one or two changes to the lines from what I saw in the trailer actually really helped with that. Like when she said, yeah, she finished it, like she got it pretty early after a couple of tries or whatever. She didn't continue gushing about how she was really good. She was like, but I was born here. Like I grew up here. So that explains it a little more. Why Mario was having trouble with it.
I don't buy that at all. That line should have been removed. Like, if you left it where she was, where she struggled to actually do it, then it makes the characters way more relatable. It makes her more relatable instead of going, oh no, she totally got it. She was perfect. But she grew up there. Okay, well, what does that really mean? She grew up here. Because Mario's got it, like, it doesn't changes for Mario.
Take Smash out of the equation for a minute, right? And everybody, remember when they were like, oh, Peach is such a girl boss, blah, blah, blah. And everybody was like, well, Peach was a playable character in Mario 2. Okay, let's talk canon. Have you beat Mario 2? Because Mario 2 is a dream. It didn't really happen. If you beat Mario 2, at the very end, the whole end credit scene is Mario sleeping and dreaming about all this.
So yeah, then Peach wasn't ever a girl boss.
No, in Mario 1, Peach was captured by Bowser, needed to be rescued. Mario 3, Peach was captured by Bowser, needed to be rescued. Super Mario World, Peach was captured by Bowser, needed to be rescued.
And I didn't have any issues with her having
Super
some
Mario
agency.
Brothers movie,
but-
Bowser captured Peach. She needed to get rescued. It's
No,
still-
she didn't need to get rescued. She made one wrong decision that caused a bomb to go off that freed Bowser. Otherwise, she kicked ass.
Yeah, but
like-
she made. But again, you just said she made the wrong decision that caused the bomb to go
It was
off.
one
that freed
slight
Bowser.
thing. That does not change.
She was
that,
gonna
that doesn't
lose.
mean you need to get saved. That means you did one small thing wrong. You could have done it yourself if you just
and
had a
here's the thing.
slightly different plan.
The whole reason that bomb was going to destroy the Mushroom Kingdom in the first place was because Bowser saw Mario and Peach talking to each other and got jealous. So if Mario wasn't there, Bowser never would have blown up the Mushroom Kingdom in the first place.
But he was still going to go abduct her.
Yeah.
Like, so he was going there regardless to do the same thing that he did throughout the movie. So the plot changes with or without Mario.
Yeah.
And then her action, you could replay that sequence with her and her decisions 100 times, and maybe 95% of the time she succeed. But she failed the one time because a bomb went off accidentally. That's not
Astro
her
Knight
needing
is
help.
correct, by the way. Yes, Mario 2 was actually a different game, but they didn't think that it was going to be very popular, so they basically reskinned it with Mario characters and called it Mario 2. It was originally not going to be a Mario game.
Yep, it was. They wanted to get it in there. That's why there's Mario: The Lost Levels was what was actually Mario 2 in Japan.
Yep.
Yep.
And the
And
Lost
then-
Levels was basically just the Dark Souls of Mario Brothers.
There you go. I think that you
Man,
could,
Matt
without-
hates saying please. Sorry, that's
and
not
thank
here
you.
nor there.
Yeah, about the movie.
He
Yeah.
despises saying please.
Well, Yeti, please find those movies, and we
Thank
really
you.
appreciate everything you do.
Oh, that I thank you for saying that. I appreciate you asking in that way, and I will go do that right now.
And I'm not even being sarcastic this time.
Yeah. So, oh, we got another person getting a little big headed in the chat. Thank you, Slender. Said I am always right. LOL.
I'm trying to think if there's any time he hasn't taken my advice. Since he usually does, I think he's right.
Yeah. Astronaut does have a really cool line of D&D tiles that you can use for your maps. They're really cool. They're on Etsy.
Yeah, they're basically they're 3D print files. You can get dungeon tiles, stairs. I think he's got some rubble tiles. He's got all sorts of cool stuff that he's been making.
Yeah, really
and
good
you get
stuff
them at
to
really good
enhance your
prices.
game. Exactly. All right, let's see. We got a couple people. All right, Matt.
You guys, I found it. I found the perfect movie.
Is this something I should add to the stream?
Yeah.
Oh, I think this is Bad's way of saying, why haven't you guys wrapped up the show yet?
Hey, I can't tell if he's actually live or there was a recording. Oh, that was him.
What is going on here?
This is what we're gonna watch tonight.
Oh my god, please tell me there's someone in there.
Oh.
Please tell me the little man in the background kicks all their asses.
Oh! I know this guy.
What is he a friend of yours? Can you get him on the show?
He was from India, I think. Yeah, this it's like the 70s or 80s, and he was in a whole bunch of movies. There's more than one movie with him.
Astronaut, I don't know what this movie is, but I'm loving it. What is going on
And he
here?
has a theme song. I'm just gonna skip a little bit.
Uh-oh.
No, he's got more than one
Oh,
movie.
here's
There's a
the
whole
Yeti
series
scene.
with him.
Oh, domestic violence.
Yeti's on board. Why is this person still working out?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, who else is really erect right now?
Well, that
I know
was-
Matt is.
Nope. Not for the
Don't lie.
reason you
We're
do.
going to
I think
touch
we can-
tips.
I think we can skip the Nielsen ratings tonight.
Yeah,
Just,
I think,
call it there. Let's leave it on Yeti's embarrassment and shame.
Yeah.
Who's embarrassed? Why would I